Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for giving me voice. I will today talk about overall review of possibilities of gas production by fuel by hydrothermal liquefaction. The work is base for future research by Iran, who started interest also algae using. The work is using the work was written by under leading of Professor Sharia Osfuri from Bushehr University in Iran. And why the interest? Because they desire that algae has, according to the recent knowledge, the biomass that helps to capture dioxide and can be used as pharmaceutics, can be used as biosorption, cleaning water, and then after use for cleaning and capturing carbon dioxide. They can be used as source of lipids and some as source of anaerobic digestion, fermentation, and bioethanol fermentation and by yeast. So then can be used in overall studies. The work here is showing what about high HDL, hydrothermal liquidation. So water under special pressure under the 110 and 250 degrees Celsius have specific hydrolytic possibilities, which can be, in the case of algae, forming of conversion to crude material could be, or that can be used for as a biofuel or and used as by mixture of biobutanol that can be used as replacement of biofuel. The mostly used HDL are different ways that can be by mix and hydrothermal, has two phases, gas and liquid. And then liquid is the solid after filtration and aqueous phase is removed, and biocrude after separation can be used as for oil. And this is here the Professor Ashfuri concentrate on production of by HDL. Their work is published, as I forgot to mention, about bioresearch, bioenergy research, and yield was showing how increase and comparison of waste and woody mass. Waste means sewage waste, solid waste, human waste, different waste, and compare how good is macro and algae. And in case of microalgae, crude oil being of extracted is even 54%, while in macroalgae is 3 times lower. And only similar to microalgae is from rice, straw, and from manure by 40%, 10% lower than in case of chlorella or microactinum species, but which can be used for extraction. This is a huge difference, and showing that wood waste is not so good according to this comparison. Then temperature of use exception is The optimal for oil is for algas biofuels is 300 to 4 to 350 degrees, and still composition liquid in case of mine mm, is higher. His or microalga still is liquid part, and carbonic compound is much higher liquid in crude oil than in microalgas, which show that is more improved and temperature, especially 300 and 350. The yields is that obtain yield and the similar minimum and maximum is very low range between algas. From some ways could be much higher, but this is obtained only on theoretically because there are many ways can be as by modeling surface to be the good, but pretreatment is much complex and expensive and due to crystal structure and more than wood part. However, wood seems to be according to composition good, but structure shows that the hydrolysis is very difficult. Therefore, cannot be obtained so easily. The feedstock concentration, the optimal shows that 25% is the useful, between 5 and 25, but most studies prefers 10%. Reactor types is is carried some in continuous, however most in still in batch type, but this needs challenges because difficulties of is high pressure to pump the big reactor, a low heat transfer, and these are challenges of reaction. So giving the optimal good high pressure pump for bigger volumes and circulation paths. And thus, is this is the catalyst and showing showing the catalytic HDL processes. And catalysts can be used mostly sodium carbon dioxide and potassium hydroxide. So this I use as catalyst, but still very low is catalyst because still on batch type, and catalytic is very few in this case research. So this is the crude or heavy crude oil is difficult phases, which part can take gas or biocrude. Still are very few about gas phase and biocrude seemingly due to high equipment variety uses. And the cost, the economic analysis is that microalgae still give much more cost of minimum fuel soil price from algae for microalgae, however, is much higher. The cultivation is still still much higher than algae, even 10, 10 times, but still is lower than from sewage sludge. So, but the lowest price is for these algae, while this then from forest residue, then from food waste, seems something higher. It ensures that algae, due to the difficulties, are much more expensive micro due to higher controlling needs. So the different pretreatment, emulsification, and catalytic cracking have high cost. Advantages remove from undesired chemicals, but reactor clogging is big trouble. In supercritical fluids, is much higher bio-oil field, low viscosity, but solvent is usually expensive, and the equipment needs to be special steel. And this is showing. And this is cell disruption and ultrasonic wave. It can be used, but still not very efficient. There show gaps of knowledge and algae, and according to these research, algae are much, however, less efficient than microalgae. They are more uh, uh, easier, which is in cost of hydrogen. The dark fermentation is still much lower cost. And this is what we find, but dark fermentation in algae can give intrinsic according to this statistic. So thank you very much for listening with me.